everybody, so today I'm here to share with you the review of the Alyssa Ardo breast pump. So this pump was sent to me by Ardo. I'm going to get more into that at the review portion of this, but I did want to be upfront and honest. Of course, doesn't matter who sends me what, it always remains the same, that my standards are that they will get an honest review. My thoughts and opinions are my own, and I would not waste your guys' time with anything else. But I did want to mention that first and foremost. Second of all, I'm just going to run through my regular review points and then go over my experience, thoughts, recommendations, everything to do with this pump. So I'm not going to walk you through everything that you get because I did do a specific unboxing for this pump. So I'll leave that linked down below for you guys in case you want to see everything that comes with the Ardo Alyssa whenever you get it, whether it be you pick it up in store or you get it from your insurance. This is size reference. It is touchscreen. You have your tubing port down here. You have your power port back here. It is also a smart pump. It also has the ability to be rechargeable as well. You can also use it while it's charging, and also has a bunch of different features that we're going to go over. So that's basically the gist of the pump, and now we're going to get into the review points. So my first review point has always been price, but this is a brand new pump, so I'm just going to display that across the screen once I have a confirmed price point for you guys to be able to list it for you to make sure that it is accurate. But I have been trying this pump since before it was on market, so that's the reason why I can't give you a confirmed price as of right now, but I'll make sure that the one displayed is the accurate one. Also, Ardo is a breast pump company that I've seen covered by insurances before. I'm not sure how quickly the Alyssa will get onto the list of pumps that insurance covers, but I would venture to say it might not be too long, but I can definitely see with some time it eventually getting there, and it might be something that your insurance covers. It also might be a possibility if you have the insurance where they'll reimburse you for whatever the cost of the breast pump is, where you have to buy it first and then they reimburse you. So just want to mention that. Number two is function and ease of use. So this pump does have quite a few different features. It does take a little bit of learning, but there's nothing that's overwhelming about it. Number three is reviews. Obviously, with it being a brand new pump, I'm not really able to give much information here because there's no talk about it with it being a brand new pump, but obviously as time goes on, that'll change. Number four is portability and power options. Like I said already, it is a wall adapter or rechargeable option, whatever you prefer, and you can use it while it is charging, so there's that as well. And there is about a 2-hour charge on it from my experience, at least. A little more, a little less maybe. I wasn't timing it exactly, but along with that, the size reference, it is as big as the palm of my hand. It weighs less than a pound, so it's really light, it's really compact, so it is really travel friendly, and you do have those different power options like I stated. So accessibility to replacement or spare parts, you can buy them on Amazon. I did want to mention that you are able to use other Ardo pump pieces. However, you do need to use the Alyssa specific membrane cover. So with this Alyssa pump, they did have to redesign the green lid that tightens onto the top of the whole connector piece, and that has something to do with the suction and making sure that it's a good fit for the Alyssa pump. So you do have to use the Alyssa specific lid because there is a new mechanism in there to make sure that it's functioning properly and as it should. But the bottles, the duckbill valves, stuff like that, the flanges, you're all good to go with using that. Just make sure that that green lid is something that you use that's specific to Alyssa. Number six is customer service. It was good. I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. Number seven is durability. As far as my experience with Ardo pumps go, I've never had an issue with any of them giving out. I've used them rigorously over a month's time, and I've had no issues with them keeping up with me. Number eight is noise level. The Ardo is very quiet. I think it's still the quietest pump that I've ever used. Same went with their Calypso. They just make really quiet pumps, so it's really, really quiet. Even on the higher settings, it's still quieter than what most pumps are at even their lowest settings. Number nine, as far as open or closed system, it is a closed system. That is what that whole membrane and the things that I was talking about before. It makes sure that no milk or anything is going to back up into your tubing and get back to the motor. And then lastly, it does have a two-phase technology where it has stimulation and expression. So stimulation is going to be a more rapid movement to stimulate milk, and expression is to express your milk. There is a 2-minute timer on the stimulation mode. And then as far as bonus goes, I did want to mention some of the additional features that this pump has because I do think that they are important. So the first one being the memory function. So you are able to utilize this button up here to memorize the different settings that you have for your pump and the different options that you want. Whatever works well for you, you can go ahead and program that, which I think is a great feature, obviously. Second of which I already mentioned, but it is a smart pump, so it does come with an app and you control the pump through the app as well if that's something that you want to do. And I feel like this is just another little added feature. It's something that me, as somebody who is exclusively pumped 3 times, I'm now a mom of 3, it's not something that I personally utilize a lot. I'm just so used to having a pump that I just have to actually hands-on have to control. So I'm just very used to that. However, the next wave of moms, the next generation of moms might want something different. They might want, you know, the app accessible on their phone. It might make things easier for them, whatever it may be. So I like that that feature is there. And then lastly, but certainly not least, is the fact that there is a power pumping option on here. Mind blown. Mind blown. So yes, this is a button that you hit when you want to try power pumping, and it basically does all the legwork for you. It just automatically does exactly what power pumping is supposed to be. So if you didn't know what power pumping was, it's a method that you can use to try and increase your supply. It is supposed to mimic cluster feeding as if you were nursing a baby. So what you do is you pump until you are empty and there's no more milk just flowing, and then you rest for 10 minutes, and then you pump for 10 minutes, and then you pump for 10 minutes, and then you rest for 10. It's this pattern. Now, some people say 15, some people say 20 minutes. The intervals are different, but the option on the Ardo pump is basically where it does that for you. It has this feature built in where you're able to hit that button, and it's basically taken all the legwork out of timing those things, and you're able to just go ahead and get it done. I think it's absolutely brilliant. But let's go ahead and get into my thoughts and experience before I get too into that. So as far as my thoughts and opinions go, if you've been around for a while, you know that I have a little bit of a history with Ardo. I was pretty critical of one of their pumps in the past, and the president of the company actually reached out to me. We had a really candid, open, honest conversation. They sent me a new Calypso to try because it had been renewed. It was a little bit different of a design, and then also the fact that I was not using something correctly, and with those things combined, I did have a different experience. But the interaction with Ardo really stood out to me for a couple different reasons. Now, I have made a lot of different breast pump reviews. I have talked to a lot of different people who work in the corporate offices of these big companies. I have never had a more genuine and honest conversation that I have with the people that I've talked to at Ardo. Even someone like the president of their company, which you would assume would want to see a certain narrative from me or want me to post about their pump in a certain kind of light, but that was never the case. And I've worked with many companies that I have loved and adored, but there is always a hope, an underlying hope, even if they want you to be honest. There's obviously an undertone of really crossing my fingers that you like this. And it is great when it works out to be that way, but I'd be lying to say if there's not pressure sometimes. And I have never felt that pressure from Ardo. The president of the company and the other people that I've talked to have always just wanted my honest feedback. They've wanted me to be just completely candid and sharing what my actual thoughts and opinions are. And that has been truly refreshing. It has showed me that Ardo is focused on the fact that they want to hear what moms want. They want that honesty. They want to know what their users are going to find useful. And that means a lot, because there are a lot of pumps that come out anymore and they've got these really, they're features, but you know, maybe not some of the best ones that could be used or utilized, and it leaves me wondering if they're listening at all. And that's all Ardo has done with me. And when I got the Alyssa pump, when they sent it to me, it's clear how intentional it was. I was immediately impressed. I've never seen anybody try to accomplish the power pumping option. It's not something that pump companies have paid attention to, because honestly, with a lot of them, I wonder how in touch they are with their actual users. So seeing the power pump option on here is just a testament to Ardo paying attention and reading the room, and they did an excellent job. It works exactly how it's supposed to. All the features on here are pretty straightforward and easy to learn, even though there are multiple things. So I didn't have any problems after a few days of using the pump. being able to know my way around it, basically. The only thing about the features that I wish was different was I wish the stimulation wasn't on a 2-minute timer. So after 2 minutes, it'll kick you from stimulation into expression mode. You are able to hit the button, so you're able to keep extending it. It's not the biggest deal in the world for me because I am able to find a setting in expression that works, but the stimulation works just a little bit better, so there are times that I prefer it. So that's why I wish the timer wasn't on there and I could just decide when I want to go into expression. Also, I know that it's not an uncommon thing for a lot of people to prefer the stimulation modes because they do often offer higher cycle rates than expression, but that's just me being picky and me pointing something out. As far as how it feels great. It has a really gentle but powerful suction behind it. I have no problems, like I said, finding a setting that works for me. I'm still not a huge fan of the inserts for the smaller sizes. So their phalanges come with a 26 millimeter and then they have the 22 that you insert inside the 26, and it does work, but I prefer to use the 26 millimeter with a Bogen nipple cushion. This is what the Bogen nipple cushion looks like. So you just put it inside the flange. So essentially it just makes it a smaller fit for you. And I just find this to be a bit more comfortable, a bit more user-friendly, and I just enjoy this way a little bit more. And it also ensures that I'm not messing anything up and I'm not losing any suction with the 22 insert. And this way I make sure that everything's going as it should, but that's just my experience. I had a really, really good experience with this pump, and I feel like everything all considered about it, the power pumping option, the fact it's rechargeable, the fact that it's really small, compact, easy to travel with, a lot of intention was put into this pump. You can just see that it is a product that had a lot of thought put into it, and I can really appreciate that as a pumping mom and seeing features that are really just useful, honestly. Don't need a ton of bells and whistles on pumps. We just need it to be easier and more user-friendly and anything to kind of make pumping easier for moms. And this is just a great step in the right direction, and I think they did a wonderful job. The only time I would not recommend this pump is if you need a very high cycle rate. Now, I'm kind of on that edge. I like a higher cycle rate, but not extremely high. So I'm able to find something in both stimulation and expression to work for me as far as settings go with this pump. However, if you need something incredibly fast paced as far as cycle rate goes, whether it be stimulation or expression, I'd maybe skip this because it doesn't go quite as high as I've seen other pumps do. But I feel like for most people, it'll be a perfectly fine fit. They did a phenomenal job on this, and I would highly recommend it if you are looking into it. If you need the smaller sizes, I would go with the Bogen nipple cushions. That could be just me. Obviously use the inserts that it comes with. Make sure that those don't work just as well for you to begin with, but that was just my experience and something that I found helpful. As a third time exclusively pumping mom, I just really appreciate the thought and effort that was put into this pump. And yeah, that's everything as far as my review for the Ardo Alyssa breast pump goes. I will leave as many links as I can down below for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and as always, thanks for watching!